Hey, welcome back to my channel. My name is Taylor and I am so happy that you're here. So you can see by the title of the video that I will be doing a detailed budget with me. I'm going to get as detailed as possible, doing an actual budget with me from start to finish. So I'm excited. It's been a long time. Let's go ahead and get started. But right before I do, I just want to say, hey.
Hey.
If you're new, please consider subscribing. I love to have you join our fam. We are always lit over here, and subscribing is free. It's free, so click the button because it's free. Okay, let's get into the video. Okay, so here we are with the Elevated Life Co. Workbook Duo. Link is in my description box below. If you want to purchase it, check it out. I just want to say thank you to all of the supporters who have been purchasing not only the physical book, but the digital version. It's truly a blessing. I love all of you. Just thank you so much for the support. So this is the Workbook Duo that I have been using for the year 2022. to manage my finances. So let's jump on into my second paycheck in July. So like I mentioned, this will be a detailed budget with me from start to finish. As you can see, a blank page. And if you've been following me for a while, I think this will be a good refresh. But if you are new to my channel, this is going to be hopefully a good tutorial for you. So literally budget with your girl, you know what I'm saying? Okay, so I did get paid on July 28th. So I'm going to put July 28th here. Hopefully there's no glare because I am filming with natural lighting coming from this area. So hopefully everything is clear. We're going to first start with my income sources. I do get paid bi-weekly and I also work part-time. So I do not work a normal 9 to 5. I do not get paid for 40 hours a week. I work from home and it's about 20 hours a week. So with that being said, my part-time income is $968. It is always $968. I get paid the same amount. I did receive a raise at the beginning of this year. So that is the raise. I believe last year it was $880, I believe. Yeah. So next is the money I receive from my daughter's dad. So he sends me $300. So let's go ahead and calculate my income total. I have $968 for my part-time job and $300 from Chan. So that's going to be $1,268. Bam. Now we're going to move on to my fixed expenses. These are also considered your bills. And I also like to mention that minimum payments for any debts you're paying are considered bills because it is a fixed amount that you need to pay a month. So let's say that you have a credit card you're trying to pay off and the minimum payment is $35. That is considered a fixed expense because it is a fixed amount that you need to pay every month so that you don't get a ding on your credit score, because we don't like dings over here, okay? No dings on credit scores. So let's start with tithes. Tithes is my giving. I give 10% of my part-time income every time I get paid, and I give it to my church, and that is $97. And then I have the second half of my August rent, and that is $150. So since this is the second half of my rent, I pay $300 a month. And I say rent because my daughter and I, we live with family. But that $300 is the decided amount that my family and I agreed upon for me to contribute to household expenses. Next is my gym membership, and that is $33. I have my Elite Dentistry membership, and that is now $38. It was $36 like last month, but I renewed my dental membership and it increased $2. Inflation, inflation, inflation. I hate it, but it's okay. It's just $2. And the reason why I have a dental membership and I don't use the providers under my health insurance is because none of the dental offices under my health insurance were up to par in my opinion. Now, most of y'all probably don't know this, but Lauren and I have Medicaid and we've had it ever since I was pregnant. And that was because I wasn't working at the time. I was a single woman, basically head of household. And because of those things, I was able to receive Medicaid. Now, Medicaid has been a blessing for sure. And I am so happy I have it, because when I gave birth to Lauren and I had the anesthesia and all those situations, I didn't have to pay for anything. So that was a blessing, because your girl had no job and I did not need that debt. So Medicaid has been a blessing. We still have it. But for dental, I have decided to stick with the office that I went to when I was under my dad's insurance. So that's a little bit of tea. So next is my phone bill, and that is $100 a month. And these 5 bills are the only bills I am paying with this paycheck. Now, of course, I do have more bills, but for this paycheck only, from July 28th to I think it's like August 10th, these are the only bills that are coming out of my account. And that's another thing. I get asked a lot, do I withdraw my bill money? So when I do my cash stuffing, do I take out this amount for bills? No, I do not. I pay all of my bills online. It's just easier that way for me. Remember, personal finance is personal. So the money that I do withdraw from the bank is the amount remaining after my bills. So you will see that soon. So let's calculate this bill total here. I have $97 for tithes, $150 for the second half of rent. That is due August 1st. $33 for my gym membership, $38 for Elite Dentistry, and $100 for my phone. So that is $418. So to get the remaining amount, we're going to subtract $418 from my income total. $1,268 minus $418, and that is $850 remaining. So now we're going to move on to my variable expenses. Now these are the categories that are in my wallet. These are daily expenses: groceries, gas, etc. So let's start with groceries. And this is for the 2 weeks. Remember that I do live with family, and it's just basically me and my daughter. I do purchase groceries for the home, but it's usually like replenishments: water, eggs, milk, cereal, if they need rice, if they need, I don't know. It's not like a huge grocery haul, you know what I'm saying? It's just whatever the household needs. So for the 2 weeks, it's $125. Oh, my pen is giving out. Household is next. These are paper products, cleaning products, any toiletries. That's $20. Fast food, we're going to do $20. Then I have gas, and gas has decreased, y'all. It was like $4.50, maybe $4.60, $4.70, around there. And I think as of like 2 weeks ago, it's been like $3.96, and I think now it's like $3.77. So glory to God, because your girl was not liking those prices. When I went to LA, the gas was like $6.22, $6.50 something. I was like, the devil is a liar. Not happening. So for all of my supporters in LA, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Lauren Bear, That's my daughter, and she's receiving $15. My pen is giving out, y'all. I am receiving $20. For my locks, this is my hair. I do get my hair done about once a month, and that just looks jacked up. I do get my hair done about once a month, and it's usually $100 including the tip. So I'm gonna do 50. And I don't get my hair done for, I would say, like 3 weeks or so. So the next time I get paid, I'm gonna put another 50 in there, and that's gonna be the 100 that I have in my wallet for my next appointment. So I do half in one paycheck and half in the other. Starbucks, Starbeezy. It's $15. Oh, I'm gonna get another pen, y'all. 1 second. Okay, that should be good. It looks a little jacked up, but it is what it is at this point. So Starbucks is $15 for the 2 weeks. That should give me about 2 drinks. And here's the thing I do want to mention when it comes to budgeting. I feel like there's a stigma around budgeting that it is restricting and that you have to cancel out all of your wants. But that is not true. As you can see, I'm budgeting for Starbucks because it is a want. I love Starbucks. I'm going to continue to love Starbucks. So instead of canceling it out of my budget, I incorporate it into my budget. You can still go out to eat, purchase the coffee, purchase the shoes, plan that vacation, and still pay your bills and take care of all the adulting things, right? It's all about balance. So please do not ever think that you are being restricted because you have decided to budget. It's actually the opposite. Now that I've started budgeting, I feel more financially free. So that's my Taylor talk, my TED talk for the moment. Let's move on to my last variable expense, and it is blessings. And this is for anyone I see in need, or if God lays it on my heart to just give to someone that I see in the store or wherever, I'll just give it to them. Point blank, period. So let's add up my variable expenses. I have 125, 20, 20, 100, 15, 20, 50, 15, and 5. So that is $370. So let's subtract the $370 from what I had remaining after my bills, $850. So let's do $850 minus $370. That is $480. So now with this $480, we can put it towards the plan, which is debt and savings. Before I get into my debt and savings, I want to answer quickly the question that I probably get the most, which is, how do I know how much to put into variable expenses or even debt and savings? And my answer to that would be, you have to do the background work. And what I mean by the background work is you have to look at your bank statements and see how you've been spending your money first. So when I decided how much to put in these categories, when I started budgeting a year and a half ago, I looked at my bank statements and I saw how much I spent on groceries in a month, how much I spent on fast food in a month, how much I spent on myself and my daughter in a month, how much I spent on miscellaneous expenses in a month. And that was when I was just swiping my card. You know what I'm saying? I was not using the cash envelope method. So it was easy to track how much I spent by looking at my bank statement, because that's all I could rely on. So what I did was I used the highlighter method, and I highlighted all of my food expenses in one color, all of my gas expenses in another color, all of my personal expenses in another color. And then after all of my expenses were highlighted by category, I totaled up how much I spent in each of those categories. And I could tell y'all it was easily about $500 a month on groceries, $600 a month on personal expenses. It was redonkulous. So then when I saw those amounts, I said, okay, Taylor, challenge yourself to spend significantly less than what you've been spending, because honestly, these expenses are not necessary. And that is how I came up with those amounts. So if I was spending $600 on groceries and then I would have no groceries remaining at the end of the month, I knew I was just purchasing random snacks and whatever. It was all wants instead of needs. So I decided, okay, give myself $150 to spend a month and let's see how I do with that. If that $150 didn't work, let's move to $175. Okay, that $175 worked. Let's stick to that $175. Okay, things have changed in my life. Inflation, so we need to move the budget up for groceries to $215, $220. You do that. You do not have to have the same amount budgeted each time you get paid. Things are going to change in your life, which means the numbers in your budget are going to change. So I just wanted to answer that question really quick. If you're trying to figure out what amounts to put in these categories, do the background work, look at your bank statements, and see how you've been spending your money. Okay, so let's move on to debt and savings. So let's get into the debt and savings. I first have one of my savings challenges, multiply your savings. This is my 52-week challenge, which is in my Ultimate Savings Challenge book. Link is down below if you want to look at it, if you want to purchase it. And this is the only challenge that I contribute to with my bi-weekly paychecks. Since I do get paid every other week and it is a 52-week challenge, I contribute to 2 weeks at a time, if that makes sense. So for these 2 weeks, it is $18. All I do to get this number is look at the challenge and add up how much I need to stuff for that challenge and put it into my budget. Next is my summer savings challenge, and this is the last week until it is complete, and that is going to be $17. And the same technique applies for my multiply your savings challenge. I just look at how much I need to stuff for summer savings and put it into my budget. Next is Lauren's college. This is a long-term savings, and she receives $125 a month. Student loans is next. That is a debt, obviously, and it is receiving $94. And then I have my sinking funds, which are my savings, like my mini savings, or like my mini savings account. I have long-term sinking funds and short-term sinking funds, but they're miniature size. I have no idea what I just meant by that, but let's keep going. My sinking funds are receiving $0 for this paycheck, simply because my budget does not allow it. And if your budget doesn't allow it, your budget doesn't allow it. Since I financed my car and my payment is like $457 a month, that has just taken over my budget because it's $457 a month, and it's $457 a month. Okay, so with that being said, car savings is receiving $230, and I believe it gets $230 every 2 weeks, and that is a huge chunk of my part-time income. As you can see, $968. It's just something, it's something that I have to do because I need to get around. So it is what it is. My car savings is a high yield savings account that I have with Capital One. I deposit $230 into that account every 2 weeks. And it's easy for me to do it that way because I have my car payments coming out of my credit card, which is with Capital One. So when it hits my credit card, all I need to do is internally transfer whatever money I have in my car savings to my credit card because they are both with Capital One. So it takes 2.2 seconds to do. And by using my credit card, I receive points. So here's the thing with credit cards. I used to think they were the devil because I didn't know how to manage my money. But now that I do know how to manage my money just a tad, I know how to use my credit card to benefit me. So what I suggest if you're just starting out with credit cards, or you've paid off all your credit card debt but you still want to utilize the credit card because it has benefits like growing your credit score and receiving those points, I would suggest putting a small bill on your credit card, like Netflix, your phone bill, whatever the case may be, because that is something you can pay off every month and it's easy. It'll grow your credit. You can get a little bit of points with the card or cashback rewards, and it's a win-win. When I started budgeting, I would have never put a $457 bill on my credit card because I didn't trust myself enough to do that. But now I'm more comfortable with doing that. So it's all about your comfort level. Take baby steps if you need to. Like I mentioned, start with a small bill, work your way up to bigger bills if that's what you want to do. Honestly, when I took my LA vacation, I did have my travel binder and it had about $1,000 of cash in it, but I used my credit card the entire time because I felt comfortable knowing that, okay, I can use my credit card, get those cashback rewards, and then I can just go into my travel binder, take out all the cash that I spent, and pay off my credit card. Bam. But that wouldn't have been me a year and a half ago. So like I mentioned, take baby steps. Do what you need to do to stay within your financial boundaries, okay? That's all I'm going to say about that. Okay, so let's calculate my debt and savings amounts. I have my multiplier savings challenge, my summer savings challenge, Lawrence College Fund, $125. Student loans is $94. And car savings is $230. So that is, okay, I'm getting $484, but it should be $480. So that it's zero at the end. So what I think I did was I added, let me see. Yeah, I added $2 more to student loans than I should have. So instead of crossing it out and making it look ugly, no, I'm sorry, I added $4 more than I should have. It should have been $90. Jesus. So let's do 18 plus 17 plus 125 plus 90 plus 230. That gives us $480 for debt and savings. And if I subtract 480 from what I had remaining, which was 480, we have $0 remaining for a zero-based budget. And a zero-based budget is your total income minus all of your expenses equals zero. That means that every dollar of your income has a job, it has a place, and that's how we like it. So I did mess up here, but that's okay. Mess ups happen. So one more thing I wanted to mention before we move on to my cash denomination setup is that the car savings is going to be an automatic transfer. Or just a transfer. It's not automatic, but it's just a transfer. So I'm not taking that out in cash. Now we're going to move on to my cash denomination setup. This is where I determine which bills I am taking out of the bank to stuff my categories. So the first thing I'm going to do with my cash denomination setup is I'm going to write down all of the categories in my budget receiving cash. So let's flip back to my budget. The categories receiving cash are the categories in my wallet, so all of these bad boys, and also multiplier savings, summer savings, Lawrence College Fund, and student loans. Remember, car savings is going to be a transfer. So I'm going to write down all of these categories here and the amounts they are receiving, and then I'll be right back.
Yeah, into me. I'm out of. Yeah. Hey. All that design, I know do you no justice, you one of a kind. Seen you like twice, but you know what they say, that 3 times is a charm.
So now that I've written everything down, I'm going to add up all these numbers and put the total amount that I'm stuffing here.
You probably heard it a lot, but baby, why you looking so fine? KMT to the haters.
And that is $620 I am stuffing. So the next video you see is going to be a cash stuffing, and I'm going to be stuffing this exact amount. Now we're going to move on into the cash breakdown. This is where you determine what bills, whether they're hundreds, 50s, 20s, 10s, 5s, and 1s, which bills and how many of those bills you are going to stuff into each category. There is no rule, because remember, personal finance is personal. You decide which bills are going to go into which envelope. It's all about preference. So if you decide that for fast food you have $20 and you want to stuff 4 5s instead of 2 10s or 120, you can do that because it's your money. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to go ahead and fill out this cash breakdown, and then I will show you how to fill out this bottom portion here.
Girl, where you been? Hiding out all day. I've been having all these dreams that you'll be mine someday. Ever since I saw you last time, been a call away.
Okay, so now that I have written down the amounts of the bills I am stuffing, now we're going to move on to the bill quantity. But right before I do, this is how you can read my cash breakdown. I've seen people do tally marks, and I've also seen them do it just like I do. So let's look at groceries. I always do groceries as an example. I don't know, probably because it's first, but I'm stuffing 2 50s, 120, and 1 5. So that's 50, 100, 120, and 125. For the 125, I'm stuffing for groceries. So that's how you can read my cash breakdown. So let's move on to the bill quantity. Here, you just add up how many bills you're taking out of the bank. So for hundreds, it's going to be 1. So that's 100. 50s, 2, 4, 5, and 6. 20s, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 10s, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. For 5s, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And for 1s, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then you move on to the total bill amount. So that is the dollar amount of these quantities. So 100 is $100. 6 50s is $300, I believe. But let me just, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, $300. Then I have 5 20s, which is 100. I have 8 10s, which is 80. 6 5s, which is 30. And 10 1s, which is 10. So to double check my math and to make sure these amounts equal the 620, I add up these amounts here. Let me move this over. So I have 100 plus 300 plus 100 plus 80, 30, and 10 for 620. And both of these numbers match up, and all is well in the world. So that is how I set up my denomination setup. And that is basically it. That is my budget from start to finish. Let me know what you thought. Do you have any other questions? Leave them down below in the comment section, or you can DM me on Instagram at Taylorbudgets. Y'all go ahead and follow your girl on Instagram. Your girl's popping on Instagram, so follow me if you have an Instagram. Thank you. I also do like reels on there, so they're 1-minute budgeting videos. I do my cash stuffing. I'm going to start doing more budgeting videos on there, etc. So go ahead and follow your girl on there. I appreciate it. But that is it. That is my budget from start to finish. Hope you enjoyed it. Like I mentioned, this workbook is linked down below in my description box. And oh, I do want to mention, Can y'all hear that rain? It just started raining. I do want to mention that my wallets have launched on my site as of August 5th, and that was yesterday. I did put a YouTube community post on there. All of the taupe wallets are sold out, but I have all the other colors still there. So you can go to Taylorbudgets.com and get you one. I sell them with the wallet only or as a bundle. So you can purchase the wallet and 5 to 12 cash envelopes, and you can write down your categories, what font, what color you want. It's a vibe. So go ahead and check it out if you haven't. And I think that's it. I think that's it. Okay. Well, I'm gonna go. I love y'all. God bless y'all. And I'll see y'all in my next video. All right. Bye.